Dear participants, I'm glad to introduce our next speaker. That's Тобиас Лангенштейn, and he's going to represent Humboldt-Institut. Tobias, can you switch on your webcam, please?
Yes. Hi, Ksenia.
Okay, hi, you can start.
Okay, great. Hello and good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can hear and see me clearly. My name is Toby and I work for the Humboldt-Institut in Germany, a German language school specialized in teaching German with additional programs concerning secondary education in Germany and higher education in Germany. I'm responsible for the marketing activities of our institute, and before that I was working for a boarding school, a private boarding school near Munich in Germany, where I was responsible for the enrollment of international students, and I had many interviews also with students and parents from Russia. Let's see what I have in store for you today. This is the table of content. I would say that I just give you a brief introduction about our school, the facts and figures, what is special about our courses, some more information about the courses, such as the levels that are offered, the duration that you have to calculate when learning German, as well as our special programs about secondary school and university in German. I guess here we have the 2 points that create the most questions. So we might make a short break for questions after point D. I'm very sorry, my Russian is quite limited. I can only read the alphabet and understand some words, but I can't really speak Russian. So you might type in your questions in English. Otherwise, Ksenia might be able to translate it, I guess, to English so that I can answer them for you. And then I would just continue to present you with our schools, the summer courses, the guarantee of quality. So what tells you that we really offer the good quality that I promise you, and then as well as the advantages of our courses. And then we can end with some more questions. Okay, let's start. Who are we? Who is the Humboldt-Institut? Who are our students? Our school was founded in 1977 as a non-profit organization, and this means that we have more than 44 years of experience in teaching German as a foreign language. This also means that we only teach German. So we're really specialized on this language, and we only teach German in Germany because our approach is to teach and learn a language in the country where it is actually spoken. More on our immersive approach on the next slide. We as a school, we have 4 schools that are open year-round and additional 12 summer course locations, because obviously in summer the demand for language courses abroad is highest. But important to remember is that you can come to our school to learn German at any time of the year from January to December. So our schools are open even during the Christmas holidays, during the German Christmas holidays, but also during the Russian Christmas holidays, where we welcome many students from Russia, usually. In the past 40 years, we have welcomed more than 85,000 students. Hear me? The connection seems to be interrupted.
Everything is fine. We can hear you now.
Okay, I'm back. I hope we didn't miss an important part. I was just telling you that we welcomed more than 85,000 students from over 160 different nationalities. On our website, you can see for our year-round course centers also the exact details, which nationalities we had year-round, which nationalities we had in summer, and you can see that we have a very diverse studentship. And of course, we offer German for all age groups, for kids who still go to school back home, who want to improve their German, for teenagers who might think to go to Germany to a secondary school, to a boarding school, and also for adults who need German for professional reasons or because they want to study at a university in Germany. So, but now more about our approach. What is special about our courses? And the most special part is the Humboldt principle, which means that we offer a concept of total immersion. Everything takes place on one site. All our schools are residential. They work like boarding schools. For kids and for teenagers, it's very, very similar because we also have some rules and supervision, of course, because those are minors. For adults, we prefer the term residential school because also there everything takes place on one site. Students receive lessons, accommodation, meals, and leisure activities. But of course, adults, we have less supervision because they're adults in the end. And this combination of having everything on one site is, for one part, very comfortable for the students because you don't have to commute. Everything takes place either in the very same building or on one campus. You live together with your friends, you're in class with your friends, you have leisure activities with your friends. And more importantly, it's a combination of learning and fun at the same time. Our courses are always intensive courses with either 25 or 30 lessons per week. More on that later. For children and teenagers, we also have supervised homework sessions to give those students a better daily structure and to incentivize them to repeat what they have learned in class. But of course, we also have a daily leisure program and also excursions that are included in the course fee. And during all this activity program, our staff always speaks German with the students, and we also encourage our students to speak German among each other. So we have a combination of learning and speaking in the classroom, but also of learning and speaking outside the classroom. This is the combination of learning and fun that I was just referring to. And this is enabled by having this total immersion on one side. So we create an immersive German experience situation for our students that enhances the learning process. So this in general, that's important to know for understanding our approach. And now a bit more about our courses. We mainly offer one type of course. We call it here our regular German course. It's important to stress that when I speak of German courses, I generally speak of intensive courses with 25 lessons for kids per week and normally 30 lessons per week for teenagers and adult students. So this is our standard course for all course centers, be it our year-round schools or the summer courses. And those intensive courses are taught in small classes. We have on average 10 students per class. In the higher levels, classes, of course, tend to be a bit smaller. So you can see you have a high number of lessons, you have small classes, and you have an immersive approach. And all those factors benefit your learning experience. In addition, for those students who are very short on time or wish to focus on a very narrow subject, we also offer one-to-one intensive courses with 25, 30, or 40 lessons that offer a very individual instruction. And all those courses, they're offered on all levels. So we have courses for total beginners who start on level A1, but we also have advanced courses for learners who are on level C1 or even C2. So in our year-round course centers, we offer all levels. For the summer course centers, we offer different levels, usually always a beginner level, A1, A2, B1, and then mostly also B2. But this very much depends on the individual location. And you find all those information on our website in our brochure, or you can ask Julia and her colleagues from JandS if you have more questions after this presentation is over. But now we offer all levels, but how long does it take to learn German? The answer is, of course, it depends, but I can give you some more details here. Oops, sorry, one step too far. So here is the table. We have a set course system, which is also the same for all our course locations. The names of the levels, they refer to the common European framework of reference for languages. So we have A1, A2, and so on. You're probably familiar with them. And the common characteristic is that for the levels from A1, A2, and B1, each level takes 5 weeks. We usually have one starting date per month for total beginners. Students who are already on level A2, of course, they can join an already existing A2 class, and for them we have almost weekly starting dates available to join one of our courses. For the more advanced levels, starting at B2, C1, and C2, we have a total duration of 10 weeks, and we have split those levels into 2 sub-levels. You can see here B21 and B22, each again 5 weeks, so that our course rhythm always renews in the rhythm of 5 weeks. You can also see here for those students who need certain certificates because they want to move to Germany, they need a certificate for working in Germany, or they need a certificate for applying at university in Germany. We also offer those certificates in-house, and our intensive courses, they are a very good preparation for those courses. So you can see when you start as a total beginner in level A1 and you finish all those levels after one another, and you never have to repeat a level, you can be fluent in German and almost native in less than a year. Of course, the least part of our students learns until C1. Many students, they need, for instance, level B2 because they want to go to a boarding school or to the Studienkolleg in Germany, the foundation program. And those students, they need 5 times 5 weeks. So ideally, within 25 weeks, you can reach level B2. So this is less than half a year that you need to reach this level. And as I said, this the schedule is the same for all our year-round schools, and it offers you a lot of flexibility, meaning you can also pause for one stage of 5 weeks and then just re-enter the next course that starts on this level. And now you may ask, how do I know which level I do fit in? Don't worry, we have thought about this issue for you. We always give each student a comprehensive placement test. We want to know each student's level in grammar, how his text production is, how his vocabulary is, and from the result of this placement test, we can tell which of our levels is best suited for this individual student. And so we always know where to put each student. So those is the information on our course system and the duration. And as I said, B2 is usually needed for secondary education or Studienkolleg, whereas those students who want to enroll directly at university, they usually have to have level C1 in German. Okay, and now a bit more information on those special programs that we offer. Secondary education in Germany means international students from around the world, from China, Vietnam, Korea, Russia, Ukraine, and many other countries. They come to Germany to learn German at one of our year-round schools, either in Lindenberg or in Bad Schussenried in the south of Germany. And they're prepared to join a boarding school in Germany. We prepare them to visit one of more than 40 partner boarding schools in Germany. Most of them are private boarding schools, and students usually join those schools in years 9 and 10, so between 14, 15, or 16 years of age. This is usually the age that our students come to us to learn German, and then they're transferred to the boarding school. We also offer our own secondary education option. This is a hybrid model. Students go to the public gymnasium in Lindenberg, but they live in our residential accommodation at the Humboldt-Institut in Lindenberg, where we also offer those German language preparation courses. And during those courses, students, of course, get continuous German support, and they join our various activity programs that we have for those students. So we have a lot of options regarding secondary education in Germany, and we also have a dedicated web page that is sporting-schools-germany.org, and I'll provide you with that link later on. So that's the part on secondary education. And now some information on German and university. As I said, we're a language school specialized in teaching German, and we do this for adults in Berlin and Constance. Both schools are residential, so you can book a course including accommodation, full board, etc. Or you choose to only book the course and get your own accommodation. However, what we do is intensive German preparation for those students who, for instance, want to apply at Studienkolleg or at university. And for those students who are interested in an additional service, we also offer an application and counseling service to maximize each student's chances of becoming or getting accepted at a German university. Because you may have heard that the education system in Germany is not centralized, but it's within the responsibility of the 16 federal states, which means when you want to apply at university in Munich, procedures are different than when you want to do this in Berlin or, let's say, Hamburg. Students from Russia usually finish after 11 years of school with the attestat, and this means those students who just hold the attestat, they're only eligible for applying at Studienkolleg in Germany. Studienkolleg is a one-year foundation program for those students who don't have had 12 years of primary and secondary education, and there are different kinds of Studienkolleg. So, for instance, if you want to study economics, you have to apply for another Studienkolleg than for those students who want to study, for instance, medicine or engineering. And we'll also help students to apply for this Studienkolleg. And as a rule of thumb, you can say students who want to go to Studienkolleg, they'll need a B2 level of German in general. However, the better their level of German is, the easier it is to pass the entrance exam for the Studienkolleg. And those students who have, for instance, already studied in Russia at university and are eligible to directly apply at university in Germany, either on the bachelor or the master level, they usually have to have a C1 level of German, and they also need one of those tests that I just presented earlier, the TestDAF or the TELC C1 Hochschule exam. Okay, so I would say we make a very quick break here for questions that you might have. There's already one from Anna. How much does preparation for Studienkolleg cost? That's actually depending on the level of German that you already have. When you go and want to enroll at our school in Berlin or Constance for an intensive course, and you stay for at least 10 weeks, then the all-inclusive program, including accommodation, full board, and leisure activities, will cost you 815 euros per week. Those are already the 2022 fees. This includes everything, so you don't have to worry about even the accommodation is included. If you say you prefer just to book the course and just organize everything else on your own, then the course only for longer durations, 320 euros. And then you just have to multiply this with the number of weeks that will take you to learn German. So, for instance, if you are already on an A2 level of German, of course, you'll need less time than a student who doesn't speak German. And you can also take an online test on our website. It's in the top menu bar. It's the online test, it is its name. You can just register there, take the test, and you get a result. And it tells you if you're either, for instance, a beginner A2 level, intermediate A2 level, or advanced A2 level. Most of our students, to answer Oleg's question, are most of our students, they want to study at a public university in Germany because for one, they offer very good education, and for second, there are almost no fees. So you get a very high quality education at no fees. And those universities, they don't offer partnerships. The enrollment conditions are the same for everyone. So this is why it's very important to get your application right. And this is why we have this application service to make sure that you provide all the necessary documents. And of course, to submit those documents in time, because you have different deadlines at different universities, sometimes even for different study programs. It would be easier to enroll at a private university, but on the other side, then you have to accept higher fees. So that's an individual decision, but most of our students, they decide to go for the public university route. And in this case, it's always individual. It depends on where you want to apply, and we can just give you different advice. So for instance, not only focus on big cities such as Berlin or Munich, because many students want to go there. So you have high competition. If you have very good school certificates, this will help you, of course, but it's always a safer bet, known, but who still offer very good education. They're just not so well known. That's in general our advice. But I can assure you that we already had many students who also succeeded at enrolling at the big universities such as TU in Munich, or even study medicine at Charité Berlin. It just depends. It's you have to be motivated and you have to be dedicated, but it's always a challenge, of course. For the next question, if it is possible to enter universities in Austria, that's a good question. I know there's another certificate in Austria, the Austrian German language diploma, but in general, Austrian universities should also accept a TELC C1 level. But this is a more detailed question. In this case, I suggest that you reach out then directly to us. I have a colleague, Mia, who's responsible for the higher education program with us, and she can give more advice on such specific questions. Sophia asked if parents can come with their kids. In general, yes. Some parents do also spend their holidays, for instance, in Germany or nearby. We also have a special parents and kids course at Wittgenstein Castle, where also parents can learn German and join the afternoon program with their kids. Otherwise, parents can, of course, visit their kids, but we always recommend not to spend too much time with your kids during the normal courses, because they should also spend time with their friends, and just the daily structure shouldn't be interrupted too much. But for those who have very young students, for instance, I can recommend our Parents and Kids course at Wittgenstein Castle. Okay, I'd suggest I just very quickly proceed with our course locations so that you get a quick overview, and then finish off with our promise of quality and our competitive advantages. As I said, we have 4 year-round residential language schools, 2 for adults in Berlin and Constance. Currently, Berlin is open. You can enroll anytime and come to Germany if you're vaccinated. The same for children and teenagers. Our school in Lindenberg is currently open, and our school in Bad Schussenried is set to reopen in January. Here you get a very quick impression. This is our school in Berlin. It's very central located within the city center. You see it's a big building combining classrooms, student rooms, and everything else. We also have a rooftop terrace, and it's just the perfect place to learn German and discover Berlin. If you say, here you get some figures as well. We have place for 87 students in residence, but we also do provide host families. If you say Berlin, wow, interesting, but too big for me, I want something smaller, more familiar, We also have a school in Constance. You can see here, much smaller. It's located at Lake Constance with a beautiful view of the German and Swiss Alps. And it's about half the size of the school in Berlin, but the curriculum is the same, courses are identical, and you can also choose to do Berlin and Constance in a combination course at no extra cost. Even the transfer between Berlin and Constance is included. Those are the two choices for adults. Now let's come to the choices for kids and teenagers. This here is our biggest secondary school, biggest language school. It's located in Bad Schussenried, between Ulm and Lake Constance, and the nearest airports are Munich and Zurich, and we provide transfer service to both of those airports. You can see we can accommodate up to 300 students in this school, and in summer it's actually fully booked. So we recommend to book your courses in advance to make sure that you get a place for the highly requested summer courses. The second school in Vandenberg in the Bavarian Alps also provides transfer to and from Munich and Zurich. It's a tad smaller, with a capacity of around 200 beds in residence and additional beds with host families that are available in summer. As I said, we also offer summer courses for teenagers. They're mainly offered in big cities. You find more information on all those course centers on our website with detailed images, with videos, and sometimes even with 360-degree images of the student rooms, so that you get the best possible impression of those schools before you book. So this is for teenagers, mainly located in bigger cities. You can see here some impressions. This, for instance, is in Düsseldorf, or here, this is Cologne. And here's the overview of the German course centers for kids. You've probably never heard of those course locations. The reason is those are small towns or even locations on the countryside, because we want to provide a very safe environment for our youngest students. And again, more information on the course centers is available on our website. Here you see a sample schedule that you can also download from our website. That's the classes in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon, complemented by the leisure program before dinner and after dinner, the excursions on Wednesday and Saturday. So you see you have a daily structure just like in a boarding school, changing from learning and study time to leisure time with sports, cultural and recreative activities. That's very important to give our students, for one, a structure, but also diverse activities, because you just can't learn all the time. Okay, so why should I choose one of our courses? Because we offer an own curriculum that's based on the individual needs of the different age groups. We have different curricula for children, teenagers, and adults. We have placement tests with homogeneous classes and intensive courses taught in small classes that enhance the learning process. Our teachers are native Germans with university degrees, and we also do regular performance controls so that students can also check what they have learned and what they have missed and where they have to repeat. And the residential accommodation and comprehensive leisure program, this adds to our immersive atmosphere and the learning process in total. We have also been awarded several awards, for instance, by our agency partners in Turkey for Best Language School, Best Summer School, as well as the Study Travel Magazine Star Award for Best German Language School in the last 3 to 4 years. And we're also a member of the German Association of Teaching German. TESDAF, TELG are the German language exams that are offered for those students who need them for higher education, for instance. Okay, and now, not to forget, we have a lot of experience, and we offer a very intensive, fast and efficient preparation for those exams, for boarding schools, for admission to university. This is what we can offer to you. And when you compare our courses with other students, you see that we have fully inclusive and transparent fees. for children and teenagers, very important to have the around-the-clock supervision, but also the daily leisure program and the excursion that are done by a team of highly motivated professionals. And of course, also all the services around the courses, such as the accommodation, which is mainly in twin rooms, very often with own ensuite bathroom, offers a very high standard. And it's just very easy and very convenient, both for parents with younger kids who don't have to worry about anything, but also for adult students who book a course with us, because they get everything from us, from one partner, and you have no hassles with dealing with a separate accommodation provider, and so on and so forth. So that's it from my side. What are you waiting for? Come to us, join us in one of our course locations. We're happy to welcome you. You find more information on our website, Humboldt-Institut. And if you have any questions after this presentation is finished, please contact Julia from JandS, and she'll surely help you further. Otherwise, check out our website, and yeah, we just look forward to welcome you to Germany. Currently, 2 of our schools are open, and anyone who's fully vaccinated can come to Germany to join one of our German courses. Thank you for your time. I hope I could answer your questions, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Tobias, for your informative presentation. And if our participants are interested in these programs, please contact and apply for individual consultation with Tobias. Thank you. One more time.
Okay. Thank you.
The next speaker is Алина Лайн-Вебер, Берлинский университет прикладных наук. Алину мы потеряли, пока не выходит на связь. Я думаю, что скоро она к нам присоединится. Я пока включаю ее презентацию. Thank you, Tobias. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.